Hey guys, it's Grim here. Just coming with a video for how to use an add-on to mute any kind of annoying sound in WoW that you have. It has some custom options that are kind of difficult. It took me a while to figure out, so I figured I'd make a video on it. I'll also attach all the links in the description with some guides that people have made for online guides too, if you feel like reading. So first, you're going to come to CurseForge if you use it, and you're going to get more add-ons. And you could just type mute, and you're going to get this add-on mute annoying WoW sounds. I already installed it, so no need for me to get it. If you don't use CurseForge, you can go to the page. They do have a website you can go to and just download the file directly if you know how to do that. Okay, so first thing, I really downloaded that add-on recently because I really like the new proto drakes for the dragon riding, but I noticed so often when they're in the background they're very loud and they constantly use their mount special like this and are yelling, and sometimes they'll do it 3-4 times in a row. So it's one of the sounds that really was bothering me and got me to look into how you can turn sounds off and do different things. After a lot of research, there is other ways to do it, but they seem pretty difficult and requires you to mess with the WoW game files, which can be dangerous. So I just did it using this add-on, and even though it was difficult the first time, it should be pretty easy going forward. So I'm just going to come over here so there's nobody around so you guys can hear it when I change it. So here it is again. This is what he'll do. And like I said, sometimes he does it all the time. And you could do this with any sound. It's not just this. This is just the one I'm going to demonstrate. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your internet. And this is the first site. So I'll put all these links in the description. So this is basically one of the sites that explains how to do it. But it took me a little bit of time to get it down and figure it all out. But this does go step by step through the whole process. But this video will help you do it a lot easier, I'm hoping. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to download this. I already downloaded it, so no need for me to do that. And it is going to go, it went to my downloads folder. It's going to be a zip file, so you just need to extract it with either using 7. I use 7-zip, but at most Windows you can extract it with just extract all. Once you do that, you go to the folder. You'll go to mute WoW sounds, and where you're going to start is sound targets. So basically you're just gonna, this was already here. This is what I made. So you're basically just gonna create new text document, and I just named it Proto Drakes. You could name it whatever you want. If you're gonna have a lot of sounds in here, then I would advise naming it kind of based after the sound that you're gonna mute. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna type anything here. This word doesn't matter. So basically you could say like motorcycle mount or whatever. Then you're going to space with a dash with another space. So these are the two numbers you're going to need to mute the actual sound. So we're going to show you how you go get those. So I'm just going to stick with my proto drakes. So I just did proto drake. And so for getting the numbers, first of all, you're going to need the mount sound of whatever mount you're trying to mute. So for me, it was the renewed proto drake. So that is the mount right here that I'm on. It's the renewed proto drake. So you just come into Wowhead, search it, make sure you search it exactly as it's spelled, otherwise it'll give you like recommendations and stuff. It won't actually show you the results. So we're here, renewed proto drake. What you're going to do is you're going to go over to NPCs. So when you go to NPCs, this is going to be the actual like renewed proto drake in the game. Then you're going to click on that. Once you do that, down here, it's going to be on sounds already, probably, unless there's something before this. I've seen a few of them that have another category. But yeah, you're going to go to sounds, and these are all the sounds that he makes. So you could listen to them all with play here, but for what bothered me is this one, the aggro, and the alert sound. So basically those two. All the rest of these are wings and wing flaps, and you could mute these ones, but I just left him. This like if he gets injured and critically injured. I left all these alone. I just basically these two. So what you're going to do here is to get those numbers is you're going to click on the one you need. So we're doing both of these, and you're only going to need this number right here, right after the sound equals. So I needed the 203939, and this one should be the 38. Yeah, the 203938. Those are the two sounds that I wanted to mute. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back into your file here. That's my WoW. Let me just close that. Close that for now. And you're going to put those two numbers right here. Just with a comma, no space. Don't matter what order. You're just going to put them in here, and you're going to save it. Mine's already saved, so I'm not going to worry about it. So it's right here. You don't got to delete this. You could just leave it. Now you're going to come out to mute WoW. Oh, so you're going to have to do one other thing most likely. So usually you could come here and start, and it'll give you an output. But there is a problem with if you're trying to mute a sound like after Shadowlands, because they haven't updated it in the add-on. So you have this kit data. This is the sound library for all the sounds in the game. So this is like every sound in the game. You know, it goes up to like 500,000 or so. So what the problem is, if you notice, this is the same thing. I'll put this link in the description too. This is WoW's database on every sound file in the game. Current. You can see it's 10.0.2 US. This is up to date. So what you should be able to do very easily is come back to this, and you just could export this with a CSV file or something and copy and paste a whole new one here and delete all this. That was the easy way to do it. The problem right now is the CSVs and DB2 exports have been disabled for some reason. So I sent an email to the site to see if they're working on it or what's up with that, but I haven't heard anything back. It was today, so I'll let you know in an updated video or something if I hear anything, or in a comment. I'll pin a comment. But so we can't export it right now. So we got to do it a little bit of the hard way. So we're going to go back. And remember those sound numbers I copied? So basically you could get one of these. So I had to do it for both of them, but I'll just show you one. You're just going to go over here to search. And it's going to find the sound file in the game with the file data ID, which is what you need. The ID doesn't matter. Only this and this really matter. And the frequency is always 1 from what I've seen. But this number don't really matter. This is just a counting up number for how many sound files are in the game. So there's like 723,000 you notice right now. But if you noticed on our list, it only went to 500,000. So the sound file I'm trying to mute isn't in that list. So I had to edit it myself. So what I did, if you look, this only went to right here. So if you notice, this was the last file in this when I opened it initially, after I downloaded it. What I did is I went ahead and just one-up numbered all the way from here, 525, 526, 527, so on, and I added these in. So these are the sound files that I wanted to mute. All these 938s and these 939s. And all I did was copied this, not this number. The first number, the ID number, I just one-upped it. So I didn't skip to 7,000. It might work, but I wasn't sure. So I just went back to whatever number was next on this list. And then I copied exactly this, and these in order. As you can see, it's the file, the sound ID, the data file, and then the frequency and volume. So I did that for both of them for all of these. So you saw that was with the 938. And then the 939, there was 3 of them. So it was a little easier for that one. Not sure why there's multiple, but I just put them all in there. Okay, so after you've added those into here and saved it, you could go over to your little tool that I just showed you. You just open it from right here, mute WoW sounds. It's going to open this. And then you're just going to hit start. So if you do this and you didn't add the files I said, they're not in there. So you could test it. You could try this first. And what'll happen is it'll say error right here, and it'll say 2 errors or however many errors, and it'll tell you why. And then you could come over to the folder and look at output, and this is what happened to me the first time, this error log. So if you see, it said file data matching errors, no matches found for these two. And that was because they weren't in here. So I had to add them. So if you do a different sound than what I'm doing right now, and you get one of these errors that's saying there's no file data ID that matches, then that means that there is no number in the in here, or basically in here. Yeah. So once you add it and you run the little program, it says complete, no errors, done, done, done. You'll go to custom sounds, and it should kind of look like this. It might be bigger or shorter depending on how much you have. And all you're going to have to do next is, let's close WoW. Just so it's easier, because you have to exit WoW anyway before this to take effect. So what you're going to come do now is you're going to just go find WoW wherever it is for you. So for me, it is in my games files. So yours will probably be in your C drive under programs 86. It depends if you've edited your drives. I added a SSD to mine. So come into here, World of Warcraft, retail, interface, add-ons. And then you're just going to go down to the mute any annoying WoW sounds. So it's already got built in here. So if you notice this, it's a text Lua file just like the other one. This add-on already has a lot of sounds built into it that people have, 8,845 that people have said these sounds are terrible. A lot of them are like the motorcycle mount where it just sits there and runs, or Memoron's head, things like that. So if you want, you could just move this out. You could just take it out or delete it. Or you could come into here, and you might, when you first time you click open, it might bring you up to like pick something. Just make sure you pick Notepad. Open with Notepad, and you could just delete this. And then it would, if you want those sounds like the motorcycle and all that back. But if you're not worried about it, then you could just leave this. What you need to do is come and add custom sounds.lua. And then don't change any of this, just leave it like it is. This is based off your WoW and based off of like everything else. And then you're just going to save it. So now it's going to try to use both of these files. So we see that the custom sounds we just made is not in there. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to open this back up and go back to WoW sounds, mute WoW sounds, output, and we're going to copy this custom sounds over into our WoW folder. Now that's copied, and this is, like I said, this is all explained on this site. I'll include this GitHub site as well. It has the link. I'll include this link as well, where you can download the mute WoW sounds. And this is basically just a custom way to mute a specific sound you want, not any of the sounds that were already in the add-on. And then it goes through a guide on basically how to do everything I'm telling you right now. It just took me some trial and error to get it right and to figure out, especially adding in these that are not in there. So yeah, I'll include all of that as well. So let's go ahead and open up back WoW so I can show you that this worked, and hopefully it did. I did it earlier and it worked fine, so as long as I didn't do anything wrong, should be good. Hope you guys are enjoying Dragonflight. I've really liked it so far. If you're not playing anymore, you should definitely test it out. It's a pretty good expansion so far. Okay, so now still on the Drake. Let's test it. Do the mount special. As you notice, we got the wing sounds and every other sound. So for flying, we still got the swoop sounds and everything, but you notice we no longer have the roar. So that was just one of the sounds that annoyed me a lot. I didn't like, he constantly did it while I was watching a video or tabbed out in the city and I'm kind of watching a video guide or something, and he roars really loud, especially if you have your WoW game sound up. And there's a lot of other sounds I'll probably do this with later, but this is just one that bothered me the most, and this is probably my favorite dragon riding mount. I don't know, I just feel more comfortable on it, and it just matches my character better, so yeah. Let me know in the comments if you have any problems or issues, or any sounds that you want me to find that you're having trouble with or something, and I can do it. Yeah, have a good one.